I want to introduce you to my first guest who's here with us at the big desk, Clark Durant. Thank
Christy,
you so
how are
much.
you?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. What a beautiful view that you have here. This is a great working environment.
It is. I mean, there's not many people who get to sit at an anchor desk at the Grand Hotel.
No, that's right.
If someone delivered me some fudge to go with my coffee, I think the day would actually be totally complete.
It is a beautiful place, but it's interesting in your opening remarks because this is a place that where we're isolated in a wonderful place and a wonderful asset for Michigan. You can have a lot of conversations with people that you can't really see down in the city and whatever. And so it's a wonderful place to exchange ideas, create new things. Frankly, I've been spending a little bit of time helping our Cornerstone schools with some of our CEOs who are going to get involved with a new high school that we're building. And these are conversations, again, that you can have here quickly, efficiently, and over a cup of coffee and get it done and move on and enjoy some of these great programs.
Well, as you mentioned, Clark Durant, you would know him. He is the founder of Cornerstone Schools, but also you are a Republican candidate running for the U.S. Senate seat. So let's start off with the politics a little bit. You came up this morning to me and he showed me this card, and I don't know if you can zoom in on me, Steve, there. It says Rebel with the Cause, and these were passed out to all the
people at the Arnold Ferry.
All the people at the Arnold Ferry. So what you do is you scan it with your phone, and then up pops a campaign ad, and you're standing next to a pretty big motorcycle.
Well, it's so cool. About a week ago, we delivered all of our petitions with a whole bunch of motorcycles, bikers and moms. And we had members of the Buffalo Soldiers, which is the African-American group that grew out of the Civil War when they fought on the Union side. And we had a bunch of Buffalo Soldiers, a bunch of downriver bikers. We brought them together, and they took all from Detroit, and we took 24,000 of our petition signatures. And people say, well, Clark, why motorcycles? You don't drive a Harley, you don't own a Harley. I'm trying to communicate that I want to be a United States Senator that's going to be a rebel with a cause, that I'm going to challenge the status quo. The status quo is not working for Democrats or Republicans, for ordinary people, and they need someone outside of politics. So as an innovation for this conference, because as you said, it's about innovation, we did this card so that people could go to these quick readers, scan it, and our new 30-second commercial is on here, the one I showed you just before we went on air, and I've had a tremendous response from people because I think I've had both Republicans and Democrats helping me in this because people realize things aren't working for our city, for our state in different ways, although things are better in Michigan, and they want someone who'll challenge the status quo, and Clark Durant will do that.
Do you think, Clark, that you're going to be able to get some traction? Pete Hoekstra has a lot of name recognition, even though you were on the State Board of Education and obviously with Cornerstone Schools. Do you think that you're having a problem maybe getting known in other parts of the state, or what are you doing to try to...
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because Name ID is the one, we've done the polling and the focus groups. When people hear about my background, saving a railroad and saving jobs, turning it into a very successful private business, creating Cornerstone. I was a 23-year-old vice president at Hillsdale College years ago, started a little publication called Imprimis. People are looking for someone from the outside. What this commercial will begin to do for us is to put my name out there, to put my story out there. This is a very positive, very different commercial, as you saw, but it's a very positive one. And I think Pete hears hears our footsteps coming up on his heels because I think, he's been in Congress, was in Congress for 18 years, and people want change. And so it's going to be very competitive. The fact that Pete and I are up here today with Senator Stabenow later this afternoon. That's going to be a very lively conversation, and I look forward to it, and I hope to see you there, too.
We can't wait to see that. Let me talk a little bit about education with you.
Sure, let's do that.
Because it's on the minds of so many people, and we talk about getting businesses here, but we also talk about raising these children that then have the skills to be able to fill the jobs that we want to have here. What do you think are some of the toughest things that we're facing right now in our K through 12 education here in Michigan?
I think the toughest barrier to the kind of excellence we want are the structures and systems that we think about in delivering teaching and learning. We have fabulous teachers in independent schools, in public schools, in charter schools. We have some great educational leaders in these schools, but they're operating in many cases in very politicized systems. And we need to open those things up. We need to think about, as Steve Jobs would think about, how do you get just-in-time learning? How do you get prepared for the job that you want, not a certificate that just says you spent time at my university or my college or that you went through K through 12. We have to open up these systems. Otherwise, we will not compete with in this global marketplace.
I know, but it's so hard to measure because kids learn so differently.
That's right.
Every child is different, and then to try to have the same across-the-board measurements that each child has
exactly.
to have.
It doesn't work. You know that from your 3 children. I know it from our 4 children. Every child learns differently. I see that at Cornerstone every day. And these kids have different gifts and different skills. And how do you individualize that learning? Well, we do that from a software standpoint. We have a software called Plato. And for reading and math, we have kids on an individualized basis. They move at their own pace. If they're quick, if they're medium, it doesn't make any difference what their pace is. This helps them develop their skill sets that way. That needs to be in all the schools in different kinds of ways. But we also, you know, these kids come out of these universities burdened with these enormous student loans.
Student debt, yeah.
And they're not prepared for the jobs that are available. Now, why are not our universities held accountable for that?
All right. Well, it's a conversation that we're going to continue to have.
Right.
Clark Durant, thank you so much
nice
for joining
me.
me.
Nice to be with you, too.
Good luck with the campaign.
Thank you.
And also
and thanks for watching
schools.
the ad.
Absolutely.
And come visit us at Cornerstone.